Just here to tell you, Pack is back.
Yes, we are.
Damn,
I want Ja to pan out because he's so
forgot
good.
to link him up. Tim's so good, man.
He's a soundbite machine. Like, we need him on the team for that work. But man, yeah, it is what it is. Harry Cheese in the chat. Our biggest issues are drops by these damn wide receivers. We are third most drops in the league and still have a 6-3 record. It's a great point. They start catching the football. If they caught the football last night, even with the pick six, you're looking up at the end of the game there because obviously Wicks dropped the touchdown, right? So if he catches that touchdown, you're looking up at the end of the night and it's a one-score game, right?
Yeah.
So
I'd say during the bye week, put the sprinklers out on Ray Nitschke and just have him practice in some wet conditions. Stress him a little. If we got a little time off, make him practice, go run some routes, catch those types of things. You never know what's going to happen. Yeah.
Randy Cleaver says Jordan is just pressed and needs to relax. I completely agree. Like and that's the thing. Some of the throws he made last night were dime pieces, man. That little shot play down the sideline to Reed, couldn't have thrown it any better. The crosser to Reed, he had Watson deep. I love the fact that Watson had a two-step lead on him, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to take the more sure throw here underneath the Reed on the crosser, cash in on it. He did some good things. If you remove the pick six last night, you're looking up going, Jordan did everything he was supposed to do, But problem is the pick six happened, and boy, it could not have come at a worse time, right? So let's see here. Antonio Universe, last season the Lions whipped the Pack at home, and the Pack came back and returned the favor. Did the same thing with the Vikings, right? Went up into Minnesota and beat them on New Year's Eve. So let's hope that repeats itself there. Ron Sample, Jordan last year at this time, 14. Okay, so 14 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Got it. This year, 15, 10, rough stretch, but not insurmountable. That's a great stat pool there, Ron. Appreciate that. That's a good point, man.
That's it. I mean, that's what we were talking earlier, bringing it back to is this, or Mike Hevering's question, is it time to start thinking that the second half is the outlier? That's a possibility, but you also look at this stat and say it's also really a possibility that it's not, and he's going to just hammer it around. And it's not like he's that far off the lead. He was chasing. He still hasn't played 2 games, and he's still at 15 and 10. Obviously, we don't like that he had all those extra picks, but all those pick opportunities they've been cashing in on. Like Ryan was pulling the stat or something. Caleb Williams. I mean, half of his throws that are, turnover worthy haven't been caught. Basically, all of Jordan's have. So it's, unlucky at the same time of, no production.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Ron, thank you for pulling that. One last comment, then we'll get to the Patreon group here. Brother Paria, Flaming Fire Revere. All right, cool. Can we trade Eric? The YouTube names always crack me up, man. There's some that I'm like, man, this is long name. Can we trade Eric Stokes for free, guys? Listen, the tape last night on Eric Stokes, that touchdown run, and I understand he had C-gap responsibilities, but boy, he wanted none of that smoke. If that coaching staff looks at that tape, and listen, again, it wasn't his gap responsibility, but it was just like, I'm going to stay over here. Okay, touch me. Like, bro, I'm looking at that tape going, get your ass off the field. Like, if you're not willing to tackle, you're not willing to stick your nose in there when the vision's on the line. Nice guy, but man, that's a tough look. So, all right, Patreon group questions. We'll rattle through these real quick. Appreciate everybody. If you want to join our Patreon community, scan the QR code in the upper right. It'll send you to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. We've got a bunch of different chats in there. Questions for the show. Obviously, if you got a question for the show, we'll treat it just like a super chat. We try to get to these at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. So Sandy Lane Packer, a.k.a. Fractal of God, says, why do we never see Coach Campanile on the Packers YouTube channel pressers? The position coaches don't talk very often at all, right? Obviously, Matt LaFleur speaks just about on a daily basis. The coordinators, I want to say, are a couple times a week. Position coaches, maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, right?
Right. I mean, you barely get Hafley on there. I mean, you see, I feel like we've only seen Hafley 3 or 4 times, maybe. Seems like
there should be an outline somewhere. I'm sure, like a blueprint online where It talks about
same with Rich. You don't see Bisaccia a bunch. I mean, once before a big week, I feel like you get kind of all the coordinators out there. Then the rest of the time, they're kind of on a rotation of, let's grab one, grab the D or grab an O coordinator, whatever, and go with it from there.
Yeah. Let me write this down real quick so I don't forget what we talked about. So I ain't got to get chewed out by the listeners. You know what I mean? They keep me in there. Let's see. So next question here. This was before the game, and I didn't get to it in time. I apologize, Jake. How do you think Hafley is going to approach this game? Goff is 100% the least mobile quarterback that we face. However, you have without a doubt the best running back tandem in the NFL at the moment back there with him. Now that hindsight's 2020, I think they're going to run stunt.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's how they're going to approach it.
And
I do know this: when they did bring 4, when Gary got the sack, that was a pin your ears back, go get them straight rush.
Yeah.
And boy, him and now listen, everybody's looking at Mosby like, man, did you see the sack? Last week I got roasted. You can't count the Rashawn Gary sack because the tackle fell down. Well, Mosby's tackle tripped over his guard's leg, and that's how Mosby got to the quarterback. So obviously Gary bull rushed the left tackle, just walked him right back in to Jared Goff's lap. But I think you've seen less stunning. You definitely seen less blitzing. Although the touchdown run that they got, I can't remember. I think it was it earlier or later in the game.
Montgomery ran it was like a 20-yarder or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't the. I think it was it was Gibbs, I believe, on the 4th and 1, the Gibbs touchdown run from the 15-yard line.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's the one.
Where they stunted.
They tried to do like a twist. Here's the thing. I didn't put twist on Chalk Talk because to me it looked like Preston Smith thought that he was stunning inside, and everyone else expected him to hold that gap, to hold that edge, right?
Yeah.
And then I think it was Cooper blitzed almost like they were running a twist with the safety Xavier McKinney blitzing too.
Yeah.
And when he did it, it's like X stayed on his outside shoulder, so they went to the same gap, left everything wide open. It was like,
oh yeah, you're talking about that one. Okay, yep. Yeah, and we ran that play earlier in the game too, bringing X down on the safety blitz. But I thought I was talking about another one. I'm pretty sure I saw where the 2 tackles twisted or stunted inside, and they kind of got the looping one got hung up coming around, and there was just you could take a golf cart through that thing, no problem. I mean, it was bad.
And that was a play too where Quay, like in my notes, and you'll see it on Chalk Talk, Quay's got the edge. They're actually mugging the mock. When I say mugging, not mugging, they got the mock in a 7-tech. So he's on the line almost like a traditional Sam Backer would be, Ball snap, he locks up with the tackle and doesn't even move. It's just like he's just kind of like, I'm just going to hold this tackle. Listen, Quay's in the doghouse with me big time, man. I said it last year, and I kept saying, man, I hope he gets it together. It's bad. It is really, really bad. Like when he's on the field, he does not attack the football. McDuffie attacked the hell out of the football. Wilson might make a mistake. He's attacking the football. We know Edgerrin Cooper's attacking the football. Quay's out there, and it's just like, you get the start, stop, shoot. His is a start, stop, wait, shoot. It's like the lineman's on him, and now he's engaged, and he's getting pressed back. It's tough, man. Am I being too hard on Quay, man?
No.
You're seeing the same thing. You're watching the game, right? Like,
yeah.
When you watch Quay Walker play on the tape, what do you come away? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Not ideal. I want his speed and need his speed out there. Yeah. But he gets hung up a lot. I think he's still trying to do too much, maybe mentally or something, or I don't know, because I know we're not happy with it, but also if we had McDuffie out there for 67 snaps or whatever, we wouldn't be happy with that. Or, Eric Wilson. Yeah. He played good for 2 games. This game, he was the lowest defender.
It's tough, man.
He was playing Will or Sam or whatever, but still, you put him in a different area, he's still on the field. You still expect him to play up to kind of where he was, being 88 ranked and, top 10 linebacker in the league, all those things. That's where, I don't know, that's where I get hung up on it. I want Quay's speed and I want him on the field, but I think that if we don't hammer something out by the end of this year, maybe we take a pull on another linebacker.
Yeah, and, like Drew D says, when I watch Quay, the running back gets to the line of scrimmage before Quay even reacts. I cannot disagree with that. I can't.
Yeah, we need more anticipatory for sure.
Absolutely. And Cooper, there's no hesitation. Same thing with Wilson. It's just like,
but what I think is like, all right, well, if Cooper is able to be that jumpy and McDuffie's able to jump that much, is it because Quay sits back for half a second and and makes sure that, all right, let's let the two outside guys eat, or your side backer and nickel, let him go eat, and we'll have one dude back just to keep the explosive from happening. But if that's the case, you can't give up the explosive, or you can't get washed out on the second level. Right. If you're going to be that safety net, I can't have you, getting worked on 5 yards down the field.
Yeah, definitely. Romero in the chat, is Quay really an inside linebacker? Here's the thing: you've seen him on a Tampa 2. It actually makes chalk talk. They hit on a dig. That's how you beat Tampa 2. Walk the mock out with the 3, and then run a dig with the 1 or the 2. Clears things out. Open for the big gainer, the explosive play. I think it might have been to St. Brown, I believe. But that Tampa 2, stride for stride down the seam. That's what Quay does well. Yeah. Is covering that deep seam route. He's got the height, he's got the athleticism. But Bub, if you're going to be a mock backer in this league, you're going to have to do more than just cover the seam, man. You have to do more than cover the seam. So back to the Patreon group here. Damon Redwine says, is it time for LaFleur to stop taking the ball first? We've had the ball first 8 times this year, and we have 4 punts, 1 interception, 2 field goals, and a touchdown to show for it. I talked about this at the top of the show, Emilio. I don't know how you feel. I'm always team deferred. That's always been me. The thought process behind the coach, choosing to take the ball first is typically the team that scores first. More times than not, it's more than a 50% chance of winning the game if you score first. I think that's the mindset behind it, but I'd much rather manage the clock and try to double dip there at the end of the half and then at the beginning of the next one. What do you think about that?
I love the double dip. And two, if you have confidence in your defense, if you're happy with what Halfley's doing, put them out there first. If they go down and score, all right, cool. We know we got to put a touchdown up. You're good. You were going to try to put a touchdown up anyway. But if you hold them, if you stop them, then we're off to the races. Then it's a whole new game. Yeah, I definitely think I hope that he has a sit down over the bye and he looks at a lot of this stuff too. What have we been doing this first half of the year that hasn't worked? I'd like to see I'd like to run back and see what we did last year. Was it sort of a pre-bye or halfway through the season thing? Did he change, or has it just been this year where he just wants to take the ball all the time? I can't even remember what we did last year.
Yeah, it sounds like he's the only coach in the league that's choosing to take the ball when you hear people talk about it. I don't know how many actually take the ball first, but I've always been team defer. I got that from McCarthy. McCarthy was big on team defer, and I really like it. Yep. On Madden, what I'm choosing, Emilio, you ready for this? Always make sure you got the wind at your back for the fourth quarter. That's the main priority. And typically what they'll do is take the ball, and then you get the ball after halftime, and you get the wind at your back in the fourth quarter. That's the most important thing. So,
yep. Yeah, no, that gets changed in the settings first thing. I'm kicking every time I can and defer with the wind, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hilarious, man. Anyway, Fractal of God, is Jay Love the franchise quarterback? I'm still not convinced. Sorry. No reason to apologize. We kind of talked about it at the top of the show here. Am I convinced Jordan Love is a franchise quarterback? Right now, I'd say I'm about 75% convinced. If that second half goes like the first half, I'm back to 50, plain and simple. You got to be real about it.
Do you go up to 100 if his second half is like last year's second half?
Maybe not 100, but
you'd be happy?
Probably in the 90s. Yeah.
And then what? Then moving into next year, what do we need to see out of him coming into that?
Three quarters of a good year. Let's just build off of it.
Let's just inch towards it. We don't need a full good year yet. We'll take 3 quarters.
Because quarterbacks are hard to find, man. Again, you can't just poo-poo what he did the second half of the season, right?
Mm-hmm. But again, how he carries himself, how he walks. I mean, yeah, he's on the sideline. I mean, looking up at the board, and just I trust me, I do that all the time. You throw a pick, and you throw a pick on the game, man. I'm spiking the controller, but for him to keep his cool when thousands of people are watching him, that's big. I know he learned seeing that from Aaron and stuff, but everything that he has is everything you want in a quarterback. The way he carries himself, the way he talks, the way he acts. We just, like you said, need to see it all come together. Let's get let's shoot for 3/4 of a season next year. I think that's a good idea.
All right. Let's see here. Trevor Anderson, not a question, but proposing we call it the Craft Keeper. All right. Not a bad one. We had Robert text me. Robert is a loyal listener, been listening to the show for a while. What he said, we should call it the Tucker Craft Cheese Squeeze. I'm digging it, bro. What do you think, Amelia?
Cheese squeeze?
Cheese Squeeze.
I kind of like that, actually.
I think that's the winner. I don't think that the Craft Keeper's bad. I don't. But the Cheese Squeeze, I think, is what we should call it. I'm going to create it on Twitter, create a video, and say, what do you guys think about it? And I'm sure everybody goes, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So the way it works on Twitter. Trevor Anderson, how frustrating is it that every week Jordan is playing for his perception? We are acting like the media portrays us as spoiled quarterback Packer fans. He plays good and everyone loves him. He has one bad game in a game full of wide receiver drops, and half the fan base wants him gone. It's exhausting, and let's get behind our quarterback who has shown a lot. Not saying there doesn't need to be improvement, but let's stop acting like he's not a good quarterback. Those are strong words, Trevor. Again, I'm not ready to cut bait, but I just can't subscribe to the whole people need to stop judging him because he's throwing pick sixes. Like it's the killer. Pick sixes are a killer.
Yep.
In that situation, and I partial blame to Matt for being
turnover differential and points off turnovers in one play.
One play, and it wasn't even like a take a shot. Let's throw it up there, right? Because the pressure did.
Yeah, it wasn't a punt. It wasn't a fake punt, right?
Right. Once the pressure gets to you, the protection, whatever it is, you got to know we're throwing that thing away. We are throwing that thing away. You can't fade to your right and try to lob it into us. Guys, there was multiple blue jerseys right there. Multiple. And maybe he thought he could get it over their head, and it was just, regardless, you can't. You just can't do it.
And if you know you're not 100 or you can't run like you're 100%, you gotta take those mental notes and say, all right, if my clock's 4 seconds to start scrambling, it needs to be 3.5, and I need to get rid of it by 4.5, kind of thing. You need to reel yourself in, and hopefully Love sits back and goes, all right, this is not the same thing that happened in San Fran, but he was playing like it was the end of the San Fran game. Or that type of mentality we don't need on every 2-minute drive scenario kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and going back to the ball first thing, I found an article, CBS Sports, back in January of 24. So it said, the interesting thing is Green Bay got the ball first by choice, opting to receive the opening kickoff rather than deferring to the second half after winning the toss. According to Packers' official website, head coach Matt LaFleur has opted to defer each of the first 39 times the team won the toss during his tenure. But starting back on Thanksgiving, when Green Bay went down into Detroit and surprisingly smoked the Lions, the team has instead elected to take the ball.
So they did it on Thanksgiving Day, and since then they've elected to take the ball.
Right. Yep.
Wow. He's sticking with his guns.
Yeah. Yep. And Steno was saying, Steno said here, I think the guys just fed off it, choosing to receive the confidence the coaches have in the players, their excitement to get the ball, get going. Anytime you can start fast, get 7 points on the board in that first drive, I think it sets the tone for the entire game, which is 100% true. But when you don't get it, it's also the same, the opposite way. Is that one you're already down a possession if you don't put points on it there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right. Last one here. Fractal of God says Quay Walker. Actually, Randy Cleaver says Quay Walker question mark. We kind of hit on Quay pretty extensively there. Let's see. Fractal of God says, I'm not calling for him to be gone. I'm calling for him to be much better when he plays. When he plays well, he gets credit. When he plays badly, he gets criticism. Funny how that works. Let's not pretend that all is well with Jay Love this season. Let's keep it real and call it as it is. I hope that he irons out the mistakes and flourishes. Yesterday wasn't all on him. It's a team game, and the whole team had a down day on the whole, including Matt LaFleur. I think that's a very fair comment there. So, again, thank you to everybody in the Patreon group. Appreciate y'all. Look forward to the questions again later in the week or maybe early next week. If you want to join that, just scan that QR code in the upper right. That'll send you over there, but you can check it out. If you're a member of one of the 3 tiers, you get access to all the chats, as well as you'll be entered into giveaways. It's just a way for us to give back to those who are supporting the show. So we appreciate everybody there. All right, one thing I want to hit on before we get to PFF grades, if we have time, we'll go rapid fire here, Emilio. Matt Schneidman tweeted this out from Matt LaFleur's presser. Matt LaFleur on unsportsmanlike penalties, talking about Nixon, who had one yesterday on the opening kickoff, mind you. I take those very personally. That's on me because I put you in a position to get that. So next time that happens, you can take your helmet and come stand right next to me, and we'll watch the game together. And then Matt Schneidman quote tweeted that. He responded to his own tweet and said, "Let me correct, Nixon putting his finger in Vildor's face on the sideline after the opening kickoff was an unnecessary roughness penalty, not an unsportsmanlike. Nonetheless, Matt LaFleur said penalties you get for, quote, jawing, which essentially is what Nixon did, are unacceptable." Let me tell you something, Emilio. There's nothing that pisses me off more than guys on the field running that mouth. Like, shut up and do your job. But like you're jawing, and Jair does this too. They jaw as if they are just freaking Deion Sanders out there, right? Mm-hmm. I have a problem with it. On the opening kickoff, good return, and in real time, I went, what the heck did he do? He didn't do anything. You watch it back, the guy gets in his face and he takes his finger and pushes on his face mask, like points in his face. And there's Packer fans going, oh, that shouldn't be a penalty. The hell it ain't. Like, it's in the rule book. You can't taunt your opponent, right?
Right.
Do I like the rule? No, because I like guys scrapping. That's just me. I'm weird like that.
Yeah.
But the rule is the rule, and you killed that opening drive. Now, they went down and got a field goal anyway, but the fact that you would have much better field position because you want to be cocky, like, do it on the freaking field, man. Show us on the field. Stop talking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, trust me. I love a good smack talk. I will eat that up. You got to chirp them. You got to get in their head a little bit. And yes, what Nixon did was unacceptable because if I'm trash talking, it's going to be to the point so I can get you to snap and get the flag.
Right.
But if you're going to trash talk where you start losing your cool and then you snap, that's the issue. What pissed me off was the fact that Keyshawn got tackled out of bounds, then got pushed by, looked like was the long snapper or number 42 or somebody, pushed him like 3 steps out of bounds, almost into the water coolers, and he caught himself. And right there, he should have just, let me see the LeBron James crash your head into the water cooler, knock the cups everywhere. Give me the 15. Like, I need to see that.
See the LeBron
dude,
James.
I want to see you almost end up in the crowd. You know what I mean?
Mahomes.
Yeah. Dude, my guy launched me. And then you wouldn't even need to put your finger in his face. You would have got the extra 15. You imagine that goes right back to that article earlier. All right, that's what gets the team fired up. Then you go down, you're on the 35. All right, Jordan, go down and put 7 on the board in 3 plays, and let's see what the Lions can do.
Yeah,
that's just my take. I think it was shady that he got pushed and the ref didn't call it, but obviously they're not going to see what happened first. So that's where you need to either flop on the push and get the call, or shut your mouth for another 5 minutes and make up for it later on.
Yeah. 2-0 for this. The only time I'm cool with trash talk without backing it up is when Clifford chirps at guys from the side. He's the best.
Yeah.
When you see him mouth the B word to somebody, and it's like a 320-pound, 6'5" defensive lineman, and you see him look at him and let it fly, it's like, Sean, he would break you in half, but I'm digging what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Someone's got to do it.
Exactly. Somebody's got to do it. All right, let's hit the PFF grades. We got 12 minutes before we have to wrap up here. Overall, the Packers grading out as a team 73.1. That's 22nd in the league. Offensively, everything's pretty solid across the board, as you got a 72.6 offensive grade. You have a 73.5 passing grade. You have an 81.9 pass blocking grade. The receiving grade's a 67.5, not horrible, right? 89.9 running grade. These running backs are playing outside of their mind, man. And then run blocking grade is always low for the Packers. I honestly think PFF doesn't know how to grade them because there's so much going on. Like, there was 2 counter plays that were ran in this game, and it took me forever to realize I'm pretty sure that's a counter play. I'm pretty sure that's count because there's a lot of just, all it takes is PFF not understanding exactly what the play call is, and they're grading the offensive line on run blocking completely wrong. Right. Whether it's a duo, an inside run, an outside run, a counter GT, whatever it may be.
There was either a counter or a power. It was a guard tight end pull. So I mean, there's so much going on in the. I thought it was a guard tackle, but it was Sims that came across. So
yeah, so a 54.5 there on the year. Defensive grade, the Packers are 65.4. Let's see where that ranks now. 65.4 is 19th in the league as it currently sits. 65%. 65%. That's what we had it queued up. 58.8 run defensive grade, 51.4 tackle grade, 64.1 pass rush grade, 72.5 coverage grade. All right. So again, when it comes to defense, basically coverage grade 72.5, and then second is the pass rush grade is 64.1. They're still bad at tackling, still bad at the run fits. So that's how that sits there. Now, when we go to the game we just played, they grade out a 62.7. That would be what? Let's see, 1, 2. That's the third worst graded game of the season, 62.7, if I'm looking at that correctly. Yeah. Offensive grade 65.8, passing grade 79.1, pass blocking 79.6, receiving grade 53.2, hands down the worst receiving grade of the year, rightfully so. Running grade 57.8 for that game. Run blocking 71.7. So they actually gave a pretty good run blocking grade there for the game yesterday. Defensive grade 59.8, and you only give up 17 points. That's wild right there. Probably because the extra defensive penalties bringing that down, I would imagine. 70.8 tackle grade. Pass rush grade 58.9. Coverage grade 59.9. Special teams grade 50.6. When we go to the reports here, let's look at the offensive players. I'm going to get your take. Look who's number one there, Emilio. Can you see that, sir? I'll go full screen to help you, too. Number one, Ben Sims, 83.2. Only 12 snaps, but, man, what a freaking dog. Like, this dude, this is a guy you want to keep around. Look at that run blocking grade, 82.5.
He can block.
82.5. He can block. You're exactly right. You know what? I'm going to do this.
On that guard tight end, I'm telling you, man. He just went in there and crushed that dude.
I'm going to do this real quick since we're talking about it. Let me pull it up. Where's it at? Let's see here. All right. So this is a play that I shared earlier today. I'm going to pull it up on the screen, then we'll get back to the PFF grades. So I want y'all to see this. All right. We're going way off cuff. Emilio, if you have to go while we're talking, you can just sign off, man. Let's see here. Let me get this a little bit more zoomed in if I can. All right. So I zoomed in on the play for a reason. So off screen here, they had a tight end motion. They got both the tight ends lined up off screen here, okay? We're going to play it. I want you to watch. Watch Tucker come over, seal the inside, right? Look at Ben Sims, number 89. Watch this. Get down, little boy.
Yep.
See that pancake? Look at this. Mm-hmm. Love it. And Tucker Kraft, man, that's on – I'm trying to think of that running back. Anzalone, is that his name? Or that linebacker Anzalone? Yes. It might be Anzalone. I can't remember.
Yep, it is.
Yeah. But again,
hey, Matthews wannabe.
That is, yeah, there you go. That is textbook right there, guys. Tucker Kraft's getting better at run blocking now. The league better watch out. That's all I got to say.
Follow that duo of the Walker and Morgan. Morgan works off, picks up the linebacker crashing in. Perfect. Tuck, as long as you can get to that second level, we got a shot. And our boy Dontavian Wicks came in and cracked the safety. Is that Branch? Cracked him. Got him hung up on Sims, and we're good.
Yeah, it wasn't beautiful from Wicks, but it got the job done.
Oh, right? What are we in pistol? Wow, look at that. Pistol worked.
This is actually a duo play. I may have called this something else. I might have just said zone left. I probably just said 20. What's crazy is it's like, how is this designed here? Because you're actually off the left tackle, but you know that's not where the gap is located. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd almost say like a 23 dive, 20, 25. Yeah. I mean, it's not even outside that much by the time they walled it all down.
Right. It's like where the original gap was, it would be an A-gap run, but the way they walled it down, that's Matt LaFleur, very, very creative.
He's and I just love the way Josh dances back there. It's just little quick feet.
So patient, man. So patient. All right, back to PFF grades. Just wanted to hit that because, again, Ben Sims leading the way here at an 83.2 with that run blocking at 82.5. Next, Emmanuel Wilson, 13 snaps, but a 77.3. Jaden Reed, 77.3 on 44 snaps. You love to see him climbing back up. Rasheed Walker, 73.3 with a pass block grade of 89.4. Zach Tom, 73.3, run blocking grade of 75. I'm sorry, pass blocking 75, run blocking 77.9. Rasheed Walker continues to struggle with run blocking. It is what it is. Jordan Love, 68.3, even with the pick six. So if he hadn't had the pick six, I'm sure he grades out in the 70s, probably mid-70s. Christian Watson, 66.8. Josh Jacobs, 65.3. Tucker Kraft, 64.8. Look at that run block grade, Emilio. 86.7 for Tucker Kraft. Let's freaking go. Jordan Morgan, 62.6. Not bad. So as far as the bad ones, obviously Wicks with the drops, 40.6. Romeo Dobbs, according to PFF, had a bad night, 43.5. Sean Ryan struggled. He had 2 penalties, 51.5. At least one penalty. I think they charted him for one. I thought he had 2. Chris Brooks, 53.6. Bo Melton, 55.5. Anything you want to add there to the offensive grades, sir?
Tough. I mean, you saw Chris Brooks should have had a better grade, but he dropped that one close on that Texas almost. And then Sean Ryan with the penalties. I'm happy about Jordan Morgan. Obviously, made the top 10. I'll take it. Elton at center. Pass blocking. I'm glad he kept his number up. Run blocking at a 50. I know we don't do that great. Maybe that's why, we'll see what Josh Myers is at. But, we got to have a little bit more respect for Josh. And what he does is if we can keep it above, 50, 60, 65, we got to be happy with it. Besides that, man, I'm just happy that our tight ends are zeroing in. Yeah.
All right, defensive. Only 19 snaps for Isaiah McDuffie, 89.5 PFF grade. Could not have played better. I mean, run defense grade at 84.1, tackle grade of 79.4. And again, what we talked about with Quay, Quay's down there at a 50.4. Just struggled, 57 snaps. I'm sorry, man. You got to give somebody else another shot to play Mike. You just got to. The defense plays better when Quay isn't on the field. It sucks to say that. Got the autographed jersey right over here. I paid a lot of money for that jersey. I was excited about Quay Walker. But if you see it, you got to say it. My man is just not – he's not aggressive enough on defense. He's not. Preston Smith, 21 snaps, 72.7. Javon Bullard, I love to see this. 57 snaps, jumped up to a 71.3. You guys know he struggled with coverage this year, 68.6 in this game. So great job there. Aaron Mosby, only 5 snaps, 67.4. Carrington Valentine, 67.2 with 35 snaps. Xavier McKinney, 57 snaps, 65.7 grade. Tackle grade at 81.2. Edgerrin Cooper, 64.7. My man he's turning out to have a pretty damn good grade here for his rookie year. Only 38 snaps, right? The thing that sticks out to me, too, Emilio, the cornerback snaps. Carrington Valentine got, 35?
Yep.
Eric Stokes, 37. So they pretty much split them. Eric Stokes, 59.3. Ugh, man. So let's see. As far as the bad ones, Carl Brooks, only 15 snaps, 32.8. Eric Wilson, 42 snaps, 38.6. So he finally hit the wall there. Kenny Clark, again, 39.7. Just rough. Quay Walker, 50.4. So there's some of your defensive grade.
You mad at Eric Wilson about that grade?
That's the thing. Like, you can't expect him to play elite every week. But, 62-4, 99-4, 39-2, 41-1, 65-3, 68-7, 82-7, 81-1, 38-6. Like, you're going to come back down to earth sooner or later, right? And you did have that missed tackle. That was a huge missed tackle on that big explosive run on the ground there. So, again, if that continues, I'll be off the hop train with Eric Wilson. But you guys are going to have bad games, right? This is the one.
McDuffie real quick. Oh, I'm sorry.
Let me go. Quay Walker real quick. 59, 40, 35, 68, 58, 49, 76, 50. Like, that is as inconsistent as it freaking gets,
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Who'd you want to see? McDuffie, you said?
Yeah, I just wanted to see where he was at.
Yeah, this is his – it seems like this game is an outlier. Hopefully he can build on it, though. His grades per week, 35, 64, 59, 68, 53, 51, 60, 65, and then 89.5 this week. that what you wanted to see?
Yeah. I was just trying to see if it had anything to do with his amount of snaps that he's getting. Like his Arizona game, if his tackling was up, would his grade have been better? I don't know. Kind of got cooked on coverage. So I just was wondering where his numbers would be. Just because it seemed like we were in base a lot that game with having him out for 20 plays. I mean, that was probably third of the snaps we were in base. That's pretty good for us. Most of the time we're in nickel.
Yeah, and his snaps did drop significantly, seeing that we did play a lot of base. There was more. You'll notice on Chalk Talk, there's a lot more 4-3 under calls yesterday. You could tell that's the way they wanted to approach it. So I'm thinking that what they seen on tape is they like to run a lot of weak side runs in Detroit. Yep. So they probably played the under, meaning you're shading to the underside, the weak side. So, but the one thing about McDuffie, now that you bring it up here, I know he got less snaps, but he's playing his best football of the year right now. There's no doubt about that, right?
Right, definitely.
589. So it's good to have that depth there, All right, and then let's go to Cooper real quick. What's Cooper looking like on the year? Look at this. Somebody come look at this. 85, 57, 65, 41, 85, 81, 34, 74, 74. PFF grade is 69.6. You guys know we always say if a rookie grades out in the 60s, pretty damn good rookie year. Just, speaking across the board, across the league. So he's creeping up into the 70s now. He's right on the verge of breaking into the 70s as a rookie. Really, really impressive there. Not played perfect, but getting better as time goes on. Javon Bullard, 46, 78, 52, 59, 45, 62, 66, 44, and then a 71. His grade is a 54.7. So that's one you'd look at and go, nah, not that good, bub. Need to grade out in the 60s if you think someone's going to be a great player.
Remember, he's been working two positions. They've been training him both ways, and he's had 4 at slot corner, 3 at slot corner, 2 at strong, and obviously the 4 at free safety could be hit or miss with the strong, but still.
Yeah, the safeties are very interchangeable.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Having them work two positions, slot and safety, is more of the take.
Yeah, and it's a fair point. Like at safety, 78.3. He was at safety for his best grade. That was against the Colts, right? So maybe I've been too hard on him.
Yeah, first game of his NFL career was against Philly. Played 76 snaps. All right, not if he didn't get, it was maybe 2 or 3 coverage plays, and his one missed tackle that game, and he probably has a pretty good grade. And it seems like he seems a little bit more comfortable at safety, but he'll do anything for the team by playing in the slot.
Yeah, that's a good point. So his 2 highest grades of the year were at the safety position, right? You got to mention that. You have to. So I feel comfortable saying he's played better at safety than he has in the slot, but he's probably been more consistent in those slot, right? I mean, Not really. 45, 62, 66, but he's got some 40s and 50s at safety too. So it's early. I think he'll be a good pro. I don't know if he'll be great, but I think he'll be a good pro. Anybody else you want to see here as far as trying to get a grab? Are they playing better this year? Are they playing worse?
Valentine, why you got it on there? Just get him back.
Carrington Valentine?
Yeah, let's just take a look. Because I know he's not getting a lot of reps.
Right. 63, 65, 51, 66, 67. So he's got a PFF grade of 63.1 this year. Second-year player, 7th-round pick, right?
Yeah.
Let's compare that. Remember 63.1 for me.
Yeah.
And let's go to our boy Eric Stokes. Eric Stokes at a 51.1. Yeah. So Carrington needs to be that he needs to leapfrog Eric Stokes on the depth chart, man. There's no two ways about it. Am I wrong? Am I being too harsh there?
No, I mean you're not, and it's. I feel like it's just gameplay. Carrington shows up a little bit better. What I like about Stokes right now is his tackling. Besides the first game, he had some decent tackling sets there. But it's like you said, when push comes to shove in a divisional game, you didn't stick your nose in there.
No, exactly. All right, let's go back to offense real quick. We'll wrap up. I just want to look at Ben Sims on the year. 68 is his PFF grade currently.
Oh, he is cooking.
Yeah, you see he's getting better, man. Last 4 games, 83, 69, 45, 83. You get that 45 up into the 60s and stay in the upper 70s, lower 80s consistently. That's what I'm talking about. Think of the younger players that we want to see kind of get better this year for the Packers. Let's look at Jordan Love. I haven't even looked at his grade lately. So he's up to a 71.3 now. So when you look at Jordan's grades here. I mean, the interceptions suck. We've talked about it, right? But if you didn't know the statistics and you just went off of grades, 64, 69, 44, 72, 72, 74, 68. He's trending in the right direction, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean,
that damn pick six, man. I can't stop thinking of it.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them. Oh. All right.
But honestly, I think we're throwing the ball too much. Like we did not need to. Jordan needs to be sitting at 30, 35 passes. We don't need to break 40 every week.
Yeah. Let's take a look at Jordan Morgan, then we're done, I promise. 67, 48, 49, 57, 71, 62. So he's about to break into that 60 range, right? You love to see that.
Yeah, and I really do like Morgan. I think he's going to be a big asset.
Yeah, I can see that. Sheed, 63.1. Nothing great.
Not mad at Sheed. No, he's been playing pretty decent.
Pass blocking solid, right? I mean, you got got one stinker. Other than that, you've been pretty good, pretty solid.
That's all you ask for out of your left tackle. You can run behind your left guard a lot. You don't need to run directly behind the left tackle, especially if your tight end's helping.
And if somebody told me going in that game yesterday, hey, we're going to have 10 penalties, how many does Rashid have? I'd have probably said 2. He didn't have any, right?
Putting him on blast.
I'm just saying, like, I'm being real. He didn't have any. You know?
I know. That's huge. That's so big. For a 7th-round pick?
Yeah, exactly. All right. That's it, man. We didn't go over, did we?
Yeah. Walk the line.
Anything else, man, you want to hit on?
No, I don't think so. It's not a victory Monday, but glad we got to hammer through some of this stuff, get the chat's take. Like you said, sleep on it, get through it. It was already happened. We can't go back and change it. It's an L in the stat column. Move on, right? We got to learn. We got a lot of tape we got to watch. Team's got a lot of tape. Practice hard. If we got to come out and smack the Bears. So
yeah, and the big thing, first half, again, you kind of throw the second half out, but the first half, you got to stick with the damn run, man. You're running the ball down their throat, coming out there trying to get cute on first down, 5 first down passes.
Yeah, and if you're worried about if Josh Jacobs is hurt, all right, move on. Emmanuel Wilson was running fine for us earlier in the year.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Just because Jacobs out of there, if anything, when Jacobs goes out, the defense is going to go, okay, their workhorse is out. Keep pounding the freaking rock.
And what I was going to I would think that it would be on Matt a little bit more, just because I don't remember seeing Jordan can a bunch. Visually can a lot. He definitely could have audibly canned out of some stuff, but visually he left the plays as they were. I think Matt just got a little too excited and had confidence in Jordan that he could spin it in the rain, and we just didn't need to the whole time.
Yeah, you thought we were done. Drew asked a question here real quick. I don't understand why Brooks jumped Wilson. Matt has been very outspoken about pass blocking with the running backs over and over. He pulled Josh Jacobs early in the year. You remember that? Because he missed a blocking assignment, and he said it at the presser. Can't have it. This is why they like him right here, Drew. Pass blocking grade, 82-4, 78-3, 74. Like, he is probably the best pass blocking back on the team right now. And again, Matt LaFleur likes him a lot, right? It is what it is. But I'm with you. I would rather see Emmanuel Wilson out there. I'm with you, Drew. But I think that's what he's looking at, to be honest with you. So, All right. That's it, boys. Appreciate y'all. Ladies, gentlemen, thank y'all for hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow for PTA Live Chalk Talk edition. We got 16. Chalk Talk Tuesday, 16 plays to break down. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be some good. There's more bad than good. But we're not going to get in here and just cry over the bad. We're going to try to understand what went wrong and look at it through the team's eyes of, okay, what are they looking at to clean up? Yeah, got plenty of that. Boy, we could have done a whole chalk talk on, was it a penalty? Was it not a penalty? I'm trying to stay away from that whole conversation of, well, it's the officials, they're cheating us, blah, blah, blah. I got you. But to me, the pick six was the killer. It was. And there's no one who's upset about that more than Jordan Love. I promise you that. So, again, it's different if you take the shot. When you just little rinky dink, it's just,
when the 2 pick sixes have happened on dumps behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage,
rolling right behind the line of scrimmage inside your own 20, right? Sucks. But anyway, all right, that's it. We're out of here. Appreciate everybody hanging out. We will see you tomorrow for Chalk Talk Tuesday. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. Look for this guy out there when you're out and about.
I don't listen too much Taylor Swift.
Exactly. Go Pack, go. Appreciate y'all.